Hey everybody. Well, Fusion on Tour is in full swing, man. We are just coming up on one full week of being on tour, and this last week has been awesome. I've just been getting stories trickling in of you guys individually and also corporately and in small groups going out and doing really cool things just even over this last week. And you know, just a few of those things are we had a group go down and ride MARTA and talk to people about Christ, and out of that, 2 people dedicated their lives to Jesus. 1 person rededicated. We had a group in Kroger, and they came across Justin Bieber's sound and lighting crew, and they asked him, "Hey, what does the cross mean to you?" And we're able to engage them in conversation. And then we had a group go to a mall, and they came across this guy and just got in conversation, and it ended with, "Well, man, how can I know Jesus?" Let me tell you, that's what we're about here on Fusion on Tour. We're about getting outside our comfort zone, teaming up with other people, and going and engaging people with the gospel. Matthew 28, the Great Commission. You know the deal if you've been a part of Fusion. Man, we're not just about being hearers of the Word. We're about doing the Word. About if we really do believe that Jesus is good news, man, we want to go and share Him. And so that means today, Monday, is our first actual tour date during 2010 Fusion on Tour, and it's Buy Somebody a Coke Day. And you know, so what that means, you know, it doesn't have to be a Coke. It can be any sort of drink. You know, Coke, sweet tea, Diet Coke, Sprite, whatever it is. Just go to QT, go to Wendy's, the soft drink machine at work, whatever it is, and just get a Coke into somebody else's hand. And you know, I would like to challenge you on that, to do that to the degree of how outgoing you've already been. In other words, if you're already accustomed to sharing your faith, if you're already accustomed to walking up to complete strangers and telling them about Jesus and what He's done for them, then I would engage you to fully do that when you buy somebody a Coke, and just walk up and say, "Hey, here's a Coke. I just want to let you know this," and blah, and just spill it out. If you're somebody, on the other hand, if you're somebody who's never really shared your faith before, you've never really talked to somebody about Christ that you didn't know, and maybe buying somebody a Coke would just look like getting outside your comfort zone. And maybe that's just you buying the Coke and walking up and saying, "Hey, I just wanted to get this for you." And maybe you just leave it at that. You know, I'm not expecting, you know, everybody on the first tour date, the first week, to be Billy Graham. You know, I mean, I'm not that. There's only one Billy Graham, you know. So I just encourage you to, you know, be outgoing on this Buy Somebody a Coke tour date to the level that you've already been outgoing with, and just take another step forward. Now, what I would like to encourage you with is the story, you know, that I shared this last Wednesday when we launched Fusion on Tour about buying somebody a Coke. That, you know, we can never underestimate the impact of just a little action like that. And if you remember, I was talking about this church, these 2 people who just decided, man, I don't want to just sit at home and watch TV tonight. Let's go out and actually just share the love of Christ in a really practical way. So they went to the Walmart parking lot, had a cooler, had Cokes in the back, and we're just handing out Cokes to people, saying, "Hey, I just want to let you know that Jesus loves you, and God hasn't forgotten you, and the church is here for you." And that was it. You know, just hand them the Coke and tell them that. And just happened to come across a mom and her 2 kids, and they gave all 3 of them Cokes, and they were just like blown away, and went inside, and then they saw them on Sunday. Those 3, the mom and the 2 kids, actually came to church that Sunday morning. And they heard the gospel preached. They heard the truth, the good news go out, and all 3 of them came forward and gave their lives to Jesus. Well, that night, Dad came, and Dad just walked up to the pastor and said, "Hey, I had to come to a church that would give my family something for free." And yeah, I know it's like $1, not even that, but you don't understand, nobody's ever given us anything for free. And so he just came to church, and then he heard the gospel proclaimed, and at the end of service, he gave his life to the Lord also. And so out of just this simple gesture of handing out 3 Cokes, 4 people were brought into the kingdom. The angels were rejoicing, the whole deal, like we know. That Thursday, the dad died. Had a heart attack, massive heart attack, and just like that, he steps into eternity. And the only redeeming part of the whole story, man, is that at the funeral, Man, the pastor was able to stand up and hold a can of Coke up and say, hey, it's because two people got out of their comfort zone and shared a can of Coke that this man is now in heaven forever instead of hell for all eternity. Man, never underestimate the impact that you can have when you put on your shoes and you get out there and you start stepping outside your comfort zone and sharing things that you never shared before. So what I encourage you guys today, Monday, if you don't get it done today, you got a few more days to do it, but please try and do it at least once today. Go and buy somebody a Coke. And man, just share the love of Jesus. I charge you with that. This is our first tour date, guys. Come on, let's get behind it. Let's do it. Go Fusion.